If you wanted to watch the DualShock 4 light up oh so pretty, if you ever wanted to play Android games like a big boy console, how about eating Teemo from League of Legends? All of that this week. It's Tuesday Newsday. Hello again, and welcome to Tuesday Newsday. My name is Syladylin, but to save me from saying that all the time, we'll just go with Syl. Sound good? Good. Okay, on to the top stories this week. Sony did some unveiling of the PlayStation 4's user interface at this last week's GDC conference. Sony took the stage to unveil a lot of details about the new system's interface and how we'll play games on it. The first thing that they announced were some exciting changes for the PSN. First of all, they are looking to increase the current limit of PSN friends from 100, which is what the PS3 and PlayStation Vita currently have in place. They haven't announced any new caps for that, but they're looking to increase that further. How much, we don't know yet, but we'll find out soon. They also announced that PSN accounts will be stored on the DualShock 4 rather than being stored at a console level, meaning that you can take your DualShock 4 over to a friend's house and play with them using your PSN account. How many PSN accounts can be stored per controller is currently unknown. It looks like it may actually end up just being one, which would be okay. They also talked about some additional DualShock 4 features, most notably the PlayStation Eye integration. So if you were paying attention during the press conference back in February, there was a light strip on top of the controller that lights up in different colors. Sony confirmed this last week that that light strip will change to different colors based on what player number you currently are, and it's going to use the different colors from the PlayStation's face button, so the blue X, the pink circle, and so on. So all of those will be assigned to different players. The system also has built-in support for the sharing feature that Sony talked about a lot. Developers do not have to implement this separately. They'll be able to simply use the functionality that's already built into the system. It has its own hardware and software support, so developers don't have to do anything extra. Sony has also taken something of a brave step with the PSN in adding real name integration. So much like the current generation of PSN accounts, you can integrate your account with Facebook, which does now add your real name to your PSN account. When asked how this would work in games with players from both audiences, players with the Facebook integration and players without, Sony was somewhat evasive. They did mention that what it sounded like, and this hasn't been confirmed yet, is that there will need to be a decision amongst the players there to share their real names or to use PSN IDs. We're not quite sure yet. The wording was kind of vague on that topic, but it looks like there's going to be some movement towards using real names in your online games. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out, given that the last time this happened in gaming was with Blizzard and the Real ID system, and it failed miserably. You'll remember all the backlash that occurred around that. So stay tuned for more news on that. Also last week at the GDC, the darling of crowdfunding, the Ouya console, was on display. If you don't remember, Ouya is the small cube-like Android system that you can hook up to your TV, and for $99 allows you to play a mix of free-to-play Android games, side-loaded actual Android games from the Google Play Store, and some exclusive Ouya games. The console was on display at GDC, and it looks pretty good. It's actually got a user interface up and running, and it has a new version of the controller, which, personally, for me, was probably the most contentious part of the original design. The controller looks a lot more like a traditional gamepad now, has a lot more of the heft that we would know from like our Xbox 360 and DualShock controllers. And the user interface has been made to be simple. Currently it only has 4 options, and the store is loaded up with quite a few games already. Pretty much every game is what Ouya is calling free to try, meaning that you can download and play the game for free, but to explore it to its fullest extent, you're going to have to pay either to unlock levels or pay like a microtransaction model for many free-to-play games, buy items and buy characters and things like that. So it's looking pretty good so far. Early reports said that the gameplay was pretty tight for the most part, but there does seem to be some controller latency that the company is working through. They also took this opportunity to announce a full retail date for the Ouya, so it's going to be going into stores in June, although it'll be shipping to Kickstarter backers a lot sooner than that. And when it goes into stores in June, it's going to maintain that same $99 price, so you'll still be able to buy it for the same price that you would have if you'd backed the project. As far as accessories like controllers or stuff, that seems to be waiting on an announcement. Best Buy did have some preliminary pages up a few months ago that indicated that the system probably would not ship with a controller, and that would be something you'd actually buy separately. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. A couple of quick hits here before we close out the day. Battlefield 4 was announced at GDC as well. It's looking pretty good, running on next-gen hardware and current-gen PC hardware. It's using a new version of DICE's Frostbite engine called Frostbite 3, and the graphics do look pretty impressive. It'll be interesting to see how that holds up to gameplay, given that at launch Frostbite 2 with Battlefield 3 was maybe not the most ideal experience. So we'll see how that plays out. Also, Epic Games was showing off a new version of Unreal Engine, Unreal Engine 4. This is targeted to run on all the next-gen hardware platforms for console, and also on current-gen and up PC hardware. The PC has been the main demo platform they've been using. You'll recall when they first showed it off, they were mentioning that they were running it off of 4 GeForce GTX 580s and quad SLI. Now they've been able to run it off a single card again. First, when they last showed it, it was running on a single GeForce GTX 680, and this most recent demo at GDC was running off a Radeon HD 7990, which, while it's a dual GPU card, is probably the most powerful current-gen card that you can get on a single board. And then lastly, April Fool's Day was yesterday, in case you didn't notice, and you may not actually have noticed because the internet seemed to be sleeping this year. Not sure what happened there. I kind of liked it. If you treated the internet with skepticism yesterday, you were probably just very tense all day and didn't get anything done. So not a lot of really good April Fool's jokes came out. A couple of game companies came out with 8-bit or obviously fake remakes or new titles. But there was one joke that did stand out if you're paying attention, and that was from Riot Games. They built something called CHEW, which is an acronym for Cho'Gath Eats the World. So if you're familiar with League of Legends, Cho'Gath is one of the heroes in that game. And it's actually fully playable at chewgame.com. I don't know if it'll still be up. There was a countdown the entire day. But if you want to play that, it's actually pretty cool. Plays a lot like Rampage, but with lots of League of Legends references. There's a hero at one point that comes out, yells, Demacia! And then spins everywhere. And you can also eat Teemo, which I did multiple times. And even though I don't play League of Legends all that much, I enjoyed it, we'll say. But otherwise, it plays very, very much like Rampage, with League of Legends references and interface elements like the victory screen snuck in. So, a lot of fun. Give that a try if that's still available. And that's actually it for this week in this Tuesday Newsday. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter. And like my page on Facebook. We'll be back We'll be back with more news every Tuesday. Cool. Thank you.